One of these two women will be crowned the 27th champion of these WTA Finals. It was Qinwen who called trophy on the coin. It did come up in her favor, and no surprise, one of the best servers on tour will start things off from the line.
First set, Zheng Qinwen to serve. Play. 15.
No surprise there, the immediate slicing cut serve to the forehand of Coco Gauff, just testing her opponent out immediately, and I think that will remain a theme throughout the match.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say no surprise, the cheering from the crowd from the Chinese fans.
Phenomenal.
There's so many flags out there.
It is, of course, compulsory for the players to wear purple, Jill. No, I'm just kidding. They've both come in finals colours. It's remained a theme for many years now. The finals purple.
Pretty in purple indeed. Prince Rogers Nelson himself would be excited about that. You know, purple rain.
A solid start.
13-15.
No question is important here to settle the nerves, and you know, we probably can't see it outwardly, but
she hides it well, I think.
It'd be bubbling inside for both players, wouldn't it, Jill?
So.
Perception is reality, though. Remain calm outside. Don't give much away.
Oh, I like that. Coco is actually already trying to incorporate the angle a little bit just to spread the court. She trusts her movement so much that even if she opens the court a little bit, she knows she can run it down. Just trying to get Zheng to maybe go for a bigger shot. That's great work from both women, and you know, hitting with a lot of margin. It's controlled aggression to this point from both Coco and Qinwen. A really similar amount of revs on the forehands from both players here. It will be interesting to see the matchup as it progresses further, but you know, although slightly different technically, so many revolutions on that ball.
How about that for the 6th point, and already a 17-shot rally to set the tone.
Still like that combination, though, the out wide serve Zheng has used so often. She actually got the exact shot that she wanted, just drifted on her slightly.
She's having a little trouble controlling the ball as Coco's making her play. That's 3 consecutive unforced errors, and it yields Gauff the opening break point in the opening game.
There's a revolutions you were talking about. That's what made that forehand dip back down, just caught part of the line. I agree. I feel like they both have excellent acceleration on the ball. I feel like Zheng's maybe a little bit heavier at times, but Coco, especially here with the altitude, I feel like it's helped her accelerate through the ball better.
Saving break point, just catching 5 millimeters of the line. And a return to deuce.
You know, Jill, I quite like the play in the previous point from Qinwen. And, you know, when you see a bit of space, it's so easy instinctively to look for that. But she'd actually chosen to rip the ball off her forehand back into the same side of Coco. And, you know, it's a difficult balance to find. But I think here she's going to have to hold Coco to the same side for a period of time in various points. And, and just have that element of surprise with direction.
And Zheng Qinwen avoids the early stumble and necessary. She put herself in jeopardy, but works out of it. She saved 10 of 17 break points in this tournament, and she'll fear leave to get to 1-love. Sophie Amiak, once again, let's hear from you courtside.
Well, I tell you, those last two serves, first serves, one at 188 and 190 kilometers per hour, and she is definitely putting some heat behind it. The fastest serve of the tournament was Coco Gauff with 201 kilometers per hour, but on an average, Coco Gauff 168 kilometers per hour, and Zheng is a little bit above 175 on average. So you know that this is going to be a battle here today, definitely from serve to return of serves. Let's see how Zheng is really creating an opportunity on the return here.
Start of the year at number 14 in the world is Zheng Qinwen. She is now guaranteed to move into the top 5 for the first time. If she's able to lift the trophy, it will be number 4, right behind her opponent tonight. She is the number 3 player in the world. Corey, who should now have Call Me Coco trademarked, Coco Gauff, she is going to be stuck in that third gear. Not third gear as in car, but as in third position behind Sabalenka and Swiatek. But she has been revving her motor all week long.
30 love.
And she starts off with a flying start, ladies.
Just so accurate on the serve. And I love on this deuce side, she is so good at being able to create that angle with that spin on this deuce side. It gets so far off the court. That time she changed it up. But it will be interesting to see if Zheng, throughout this match, changes her court position on the return, because that is one of Coco's favorite serves. Zheng does start positioning herself further back. There's Coco Gauff's support team.
Oh, it's been a good support team, too, with the addition of Matt Daly. And that's a hold and love for Coco to get on the board with ease. Yeah, Matt Daly came on board following the U.S. Open, joined Jean-Christophe Farrell for Coco Gauff, and all she's done is win 12 of 13 matches and grabbed a WTA 1000 title in Beijing.
Yeah, I mean, he obviously has been a great addition. He's very good at being able to help with technique, and he's helped her with the grip on the serve in particular. That's something that she's voiced that she's working on and changing. Not the easiest thing to change, the grip. It takes some time usually, but Coco has really done a good job of picking things up quickly.
I love the discipline from both women through. You know, they've got the ability to hit the 1-2 punch and backhand winners, but they're both choosing to go through the middle of the court. Qinwen there, what a beautiful coil on her forehand. 132 k's an hour. Wow.
Qinwen contesting her 9th WTA Tour final. She is resting at 50% success rate at 4-4, but does improve to 5-4 if you factor in another final victory this year. That, of course, the gold medal round in Paris. Zheng Qinwen trying to find a much easier time at the line. It's her second pairing with Peariba right there in the center. He got up to number 65 in the world as a professional back in his second stint with the Chinese number 1. She wasn't Chinese number 1 at the time between 2021 and mid-2023. Did do some work with, cue the dramatic music ladies, Coco Gauff last summer during the summer of Coco, but now got back together at the start of this year, and it's been flourishing ever since.
Yeah, so he's going to have a really good understanding of Coco's game, not only the style, but what she's thinking, her insight, her mentality, possibly how she's going to go about playing Zheng. I'm sure they've spoken about that before in the past, so he would have great insight for Zheng to be able to start this match strong.
Let's proceed.
Such a good strike on the ball, and I think against Coco, I think her game plan really is to try and open up that forehand wing. She can hang with the pace, they both can hang with each other's pace, but you can already tell that I feel like Zheng, when she has the moment to really strike through that ball and add extra pace, she's going to want to try and pressure that forehand side.
Far easier time than having to face break point for Zheng Qinwen. And she's 2 for 2 from the line. That additional game puts her out 2-1 in front after 12 minutes in Riyadh. Since 2019 in Linz, Coco Gauff has won a title in every year except 2020, and we know what happened that year, so she's continued on a nice trend. Won back-to-back titles last year in Auckland and again this year. Won the title in Beijing. She has been an absolute beast when getting to the last day of tournaments, particularly of late. In her 9 previous WTA finals, she has an 8-1 record. And it gets even better from there, because since she won the Auckland title a year ago, she has won 6 consecutive. Last match she lost, and the only time she lost a final, was at Roland Garros 2 years ago, 2-1 Iga Swiatek. No surprise.
Talk about handling pressure well, being in all those finals and converting so many into a title.
Yeah, and Alicia tells you about the mindset that when you have to elevate yourself at the biggest and most opportune moment, she does.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about her records, but on the flip side, in between, she's becoming a more complete player all the time. So, we keep looking at her records, but then she's improving so much constantly and consistently, just like Qinwen, and they've both elevated their games to new levels. And I think both are going to be real contenders for actually a number of slams in 2025.
I think
don't
so
doubt
too. Yeah. I mean, they both have that growth mindset, right? So, two players that are so young. It's incredible.
15-30.
And we talk about Coco, how she just came away from that title in Beijing in the Asian swing. And she basically said she viewed that kind of as a practice tournament because she was willing to use that week to work on things, to get better. And then boom, all of a sudden, she's winning the title. It was incredible.
Oh, the concussive power of two women bludgeoning the ball.
That's phenomenal ball striking by both players, and not
30 all.
purely because of the speed of shot, but both utilising every single corner of the court. See Qinwen just moving over to a towel. Often that signifies to a play just, you know, taking a little bit more oxygen, utilising the time on the clock. It's smart. This is a taxing match already for both.
And I think just jumping back to the
40,
previous
50.
point, I felt like that was a play that might hurt Coco, that heavy forehand down the line, that Zheng can hit deep into the court, but Coco handled it really well. I think she's expecting that.
Zheng is really trying to pressure Coco, not only on the second serve return, but also on the first serve. She's really teed off on the one that she lost the point in the long rally in this game, but still trying to go after it.
Left for serve.
Well, you've got to love that. Love the work on the ball from Qinwen, and she was building the play.
Advantage.
Just didn't quite get the volley exactly where she wanted, through the middle, and needed to almost cut on the inside of the ball to get it scooting away from the court. But again, once again, the speed from Coco moving up, and had plenty of time in the end to decide.
15 shots in a high-octane exchange that gets Coco close to 2-all.
Game ball.
4 games split evenly through 19 minutes.
2 games over.
It's been very, very high quality. Sorry, Soph, go ahead.
And another thing to notice, sorry, Jill, is that every single long rallies, and there's been like 3 of them, really, 17 shot. I think the second one was about 12, and the last one 15, all went the way of Coco. So that's telling that she is able to really absorb a lot of the pace and herself get into the offensive mode. And those long, long rallies going all her way is very impressive to me.
Look at that whip. Wraps the racket not just at the back of the ball, but around the outside. So by doing that, you're bringing the ball back into the court. But it's the racket head speed here, which I think is the reason why Qinwen is absolutely nailing her forehands. And she can do it with not much margin, because the spin is bringing it back into the court.
Very nice. Doing a good job on the return of getting depth overall and using that higher, heavier ball. Coco just giving her a little extra time to get back into the court. Something that she said that she's been feeling really good this week in Riyadh is how well she feels like she has been returning.
Couple of errors from Zheng. Qinwen's racket again put her in jeopardy. It did so in her first effort at the line, but she was able to save break points. She'll have to muster another hold here in order to do so. To save a pair of break points at least in the process.
That's too good. I mean, that was a pretty good return. Again, opting down the center of the court. Normally, it's tough to hit an angle off that ball. I mean, that was an incredible shot from Zheng.
Think she meant it that close to the line?
I don't think so. You?
Remember, she was 5 millimeters on the first break point that she hit the winner, so maybe she did. Qinwen 3 for 3 on break points, hitting winners to extinguish the threat.
Yeah, it's the quiet and the calm of her nature through these big points. She's able not just to maintain focus, but I really love the way that she's going after the ball. It's aggressive but controlled at the same time. Have got to love that. Jill, it's also an interesting matchup between two players that, you know, pretty much hit their forehand at a real similar trajectory, which they haven't encountered throughout other matches and with other opponents.
Yeah, that's true. I think Krejcikova maybe gets a little bit, but I don't think it's as heavy and fast. I think they're both accelerating very well. And I think they're both trying to target the forehand side where you can get more aggressive, try and get each other late on that forehand. But I agree with you.
Yeah, both get plenty of spin on the ball, and thanks to the stringers downstairs, Laurent and Lucas, Coco opts for a Luxilon alley power in her racket. It's quite popular, and string tension 56 mains, 55 with the crosses, as opposed to Qinwen. Well, she goes 54.5 and 53.5. So
it's not a huge
playing with margins.
Difference, yeah.
Once again, Luxilon, but it's the original, which is a stiffer string, which Qinwen chooses to use. So quite similar for both. Makes sense, right?
It does make sense. And I mean, they would usually string a little bit lower, but because we're in altitude, they've probably gone up a couple pounds, both of them.
Advantage, Gauff.
Zheng Qinwen now already in these opening 26 minutes into double digits, giving too many points away, 10 unforced errors. A third in this game alone supplies a third break point for Gauff.
I don't necessarily feel like initially Coco wanted to go for that particular shot. She was set up looking like she was going to hit through the ball and be aggressive, and then it was almost like an afterthought all of a sudden. In a way, I got to go to my game plan, try and go for that higher, heavier, get above the shoulders of Zheng, and maybe just got a little indecisive.
Well, this gets tiring if you're Qinwen, and throughout this event, every service game you have one has been so much easier, but Coco is putting up a fight every single point. It gets tiring, it gets wearing, and this is where full focus needs to be maintained on her strength, the serve.
Absolutely. I even think the points have been physical from the beginning already as well.
To your point, this is the longest game already in this opening set as she puts a 13th serve in play.
Incredible ball striking.
And
once again, another very long point. That time Zheng on the top, the win in that long rally. And it's so important to have that balance of power, but patience, and knowing both of them when to take that strike, when to be able to all of a sudden open the court. It's not easy.
Longest rally of these opening 30 minutes now, 20 strokes between them. Zheng Qinwen trying to finally shake Gauff in this fifth game. And finally does. Well, Gauff fans might say opportunity missed, but Zheng Qinwen fans say not really. Opportunities taken away. She goes big on all three break points to pick up her third hold in the opening set. The capital and largest city of Saudi Arabia, Riyadh, in the first of its residency, 3 years here for the WTA Finals through 2026. Population of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, about 33 million people, and just close to 8 million live in Riyadh. Inside the King Saud University Sports Arena, filled to capacity, 4,200 fans coming out, 21,000 strong all week long for these year-end championships. As they've already been in for a treat in the opening half hour. Zheng Qinwen and Coco Gauff and their duel for this opening set.
Right, please, right, please, right, please. The gentleman to my left standing, can you please sit down? Thank you.
Coco Gauff, 20 years of age. Her opponent, 22-year-old Zheng Qinwen. The combined age of 42 years and 271 days makes them the youngest two finalists at the WTA Finals in 2 decades. Maria Sharapova and Serena Williams clashed in Los Angeles. I think it speaks, ladies, to the poise of both of these young ladies. I mean, Coco Gauff has seemed to have been around for years. It's hard to believe she's 20. And even for Zheng, just 22.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Coco when she was 15 when she first came on the tour, and I felt like at 15 she was already poised and mature. But the way they've both grown, I think, so quickly, and the way they've been able to take on any responsibility of the pressures of the tour, the travel. I mean, there's so much that goes into it. And for two women that started so young and it's climbed so quickly, I think it's outstanding.
Yeah, and I think, Jill, you know, to your point as well, not just on the court, you know, I see the maturity of both women shine through off the court in the way that they're,
absolutely,
you know, giving to their obligations on tour, and even the media, the way they sit down in interviews, you know, incredibly professional. Yeah. I think both have huge regard and respect for their responsibilities within the sport. It's amazing.
I think a lot of it is their, you know, it's them, but their team around them as well, just making them aware and to take on all those responsibilities.
I mean, we need a replay of the sound from the. It's actually like a firecracker, isn't it? When she rips through the backhand side, Qinwen, there is just this immediate hot pop off her strings. Incredible.
We're talking about that concussive sound that comes out of that 149 kilometers per hour. It sounds like pop. I mean, amazing.
Bump. And you're next to this. I mean, that ball went so fast through the air. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, we've been talking about the similarities between the two women as well, right? The fact that they can get that rotation on the forehand side. They both actually hit pretty flat on the backhand. I always found that could be tricky to play against because it's such a different type of ball from both wings, and to find that rhythm is not easy.
Gauff facing her first bit of adversity from the line.
Beautiful serve from Gauff. You know, just sitting up here, Jill and Kevin, just trying to pick apart other differences between their games. Off the ground, yeah, really similar. Net, well, quite similar. Coco's played more doubles, so I feel like she's probably better positioned at net at times. But I feel like the difference, though, mostly is probably with the serve and on the ad side.
Talk about physicality in this point. It's absolutely crazy. And you can tell that Zheng is taking a little bit of time here. She definitely used a lot of energy in this point.
28-stroke rally, the longest of these opening 6 games, and each one just punishing.
That is just so interesting because both errors, the last 2 points, have come from balls that have the least amount of pace on them and are positioned the shortest in the court. Both from Qinwen and Coco. Had every right to rip through that. She did choose to go on the backhand wing. Wow.
It almost feels like they're waiting for that opportunity. All of a sudden, they get hyper excited. Here it is. This is my chance. And it's amazing.
I'm just going to go into two. I didn't get to finish my sentence before, where the main differences are with the two women. I feel like serving on the ad side, Qinwen is able to pronate more with her wrist, so she can pop the ball flatter out wide, as opposed to Coco, I think, whose ability is slightly hindered. Her wide serve is more of a slice serve, so less effective. But she'll develop that, won't she? You know, that's coming. That's on the cards.
Yeah. I think that would be easy for her to incorporate and learn. Absolutely.
Game Gauff.
And Gauff gets her third hole to match through 6. Well, Sophie, we're going to have to get you some noise-canceling headphones down there with the sound of the ball coming off the racket. You're seeing the physicality. And what about the net clearance?
Well, it's not that high over the net, I tell you. Although they've started, you know, and Zheng have started to do this earlier. The last time that she was serving on the other side, to try to get a little shape sometimes on the ball and slow things down. But I'm telling you, I mean, these balls are going so close to the net and so deep and so much pace. Absolutely incredible. The one thing I don't see enough, and I know that Zheng loves to go wide on the ad court, is to go to the forehand actually more often with her serve. And both on the deuce and the ad court. I think that she's been triggering too much the backhand. And we know that Coco can hit the backhand, you know, blindfolded.
Really was probably the first forehand that I saw Qinwen out of position with her footwork on her forehand side, and that of course created the late swing, almost falling off it. I think that's because of the intensity that Coco was set.
That's exactly what I was thinking. It was the first forehand I felt like that she didn't allow her body to be physical with that ball. And I was thinking, I mean, I think she's fine physically, but it was just the one that looked a little tired. That's what the speed of Coco Gauff can do, is you just feel like your margins are so small. You feel like she makes you feel like you have to go for a little bit more. So important for Zheng to stay in these longer points.
Lightning, Alicia?
Oh, yeah.
Well, this has been so intense and physical. You got to, I mean, both women have to be able to utilize this time in between the points just to get your breath back, slow things down, make sure you're 100% when you walk up to that line. I really like that combination. I think they're both trying to incorporate that, high, heavy one, then step in, get aggressive, just that change up. It's actually caused both of them to get on their back foot, get late on the ball slightly. But that high ball, Alicia, can be consistently physically demanding.
And Gauff extends Zheng to deuce for a third time in 4 service games for the 7 seed, and she's had to do her work at the line. Far more considerable time spent there than Coco.
Yeah, take a look at that service game duration, but Qinwen got back with enough time there to the overhead. I feel like if she got her feet sorted, could have ripped the ball back as opposed to sort of the flat lob she went to. But once again, I think just the telling sign, the intensity showing, a little bit of exhaustion perhaps. Play such a similar game, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Advantage.
These games have been long. I mean, it's just been amazing. The
And
rallies.
to accentuate the effort, she does have 1 extra service game, but that notwithstanding, this is the 39th point Zheng is putting into play. Coco's only had to put in 22. Lest we forget, Qinwen's had to save 4 break points thus far. Zheng Qinwen does it once more, where she finds her way to a hold, and she's done so 4 times from the line without yet hitting an ace. But mission accomplished as she moves ahead 4-3 opening set. Since the inception of the WTA Finals back in 1972, there have been 26 different champions. Looking to be the 27th, that's guaranteed. Neither Coco Gauff or Zheng Qinwen have even vied for the title. Coco, in her 3rd appearance, was winless in Fort Worth, a semifinalist last year in Cancun, now in the finals here in Riyadh. Zheng Qinwen, she never played this tournament before, and here she is on the last day. Gauff trying for a 4th time to be successful in matching Zheng Qinwen hold for hold.
Can we please get the proper lights back on?
Lights have just dimmed here
Thank you.
for the players.
Yeah, we lost the light.
Here we go.
We're going back to the opening ceremony with the dim light. There we go. That's better.
New balls.
Yeah, that was, Coco waited for that to hit a backhand, but I think the preference needs to be the forehand, but just second guessing herself there, Jill. And
Yeah.
perhaps because she has made a few more errors on the forehand wing, just.
It was really the first time that we saw her hesitate. And again, it was on an easier rally ball or easier return that came to her side of the court. But I do often see her on that middle ball take the backhand side. That's the one that she prefers.
Oh, the depth from Zheng, absolutely incredible. There's big trouble here.
You're not kidding, Sophie. It's a break point saved in her previous service game, but now there's multiple on offer to Qinwen. I'll have to summon the effort that's seen her save 18 of 29 break points this event. Oh, and she throws in her second double fault, and that's going to sting. A little salt in the wound as she breaks herself. Zheng Qinwen will serve for a one-set lead.
Well, the worst part after that double fault is the amount of people just cheering, not only on the double fault, obviously, and being broken, but the cheer after double fault. Coco looked at the crowd and listened to them right now chanting Zheng's name.
Thank you.
All of a sudden you feel that Qinwen has a bit of a pep in her step, and it was just ever so slight lull a few games ago, but the physicality telling in this match, and really has the upper hand now. She's looking to pounce, isn't she, on every first shot and try and dictate from that point in time. It's been great.
It's been a nice run of late, including 7 consecutive points. Give herself the upper hand here. And Coco's gone off the rails a bit. She's feeding into it. Zheng Qinwen happy to just coast across the finish line of a one-set lead. Four unforced errors in the last 9 points for Coco has put her in danger.
And with Qinwen's serve, first serve percentage around the 55% mark, it was a few moments ago. Jill, I'm just wondering what effect it would have for Coco on second serves to attack it a bit more, be inside the baseline. I mean, she's waiting for it ever so slightly. It's getting up above shoulder height. But if she was able to get a rush on the return and sort of return that ball with interest at Qinwen, because she hasn't felt any pressure now, has she, on second serves?
Especially on second serves, absolutely, yeah. And Coco's been sitting just a little further back on the second. This is an opportunity again. You know, you just won the previous point, 15-30. You can apply that extra pressure now, get on top of it, but she's still a little bit further back. She just inched forward.
Yeah, I'd love to see her. I mean,
Even
2.5 meters in. Yeah, why not? She can do it.
Court just disrupting the rhythm of Zheng.
Yeah, I'm curious to that comment too, because actually for Coco, she has won 11 of 22nd serves off of Zheng, but it's the effectiveness of the second serve return, right?
Yeah, I think, you know, she's giving Qinwen, she's giving Qinwen enough time to react, and imagine the pressure she's going to create if she, you know, she's got Qinwen backing up on that first shot, you know, falling back off balance. That's what you want to create, the doubt in your opponent's mind. All of a sudden then Qinwen will be questioning her second serve. Well, should I go wide? Should I go T? Should I put more speed on it? You start squeezing out some double faults, some freebies.
I totally agree with you guys. I mean, she needs to be more aggressive, and I can tell you that if she was to lose that first set, this is what you would see in the second set. And especially that on the ad side, I mean, Qinwen has been serving predominantly the backhand of Coco. So can you imagine if she was able to come forward and start being aggressive on the second serve with her strength, meaning the backhand?
Goodness, how Zheng Qinwen found the line on that second serve. Inexplicable to me.
Yeah, so smart of Zheng to go to the forehand finally on the ad side on the second serve. That really created a problem for Coco, who was waiting for the backhand once again.
In their only previous meeting in Rome earlier this year, Coco was 4 of 8 on break points, 0 for 5 tonight.
That's an outstanding shot from Zheng. Again, the heaviness, but the depth was what's so crucial on that forehand.
And Zheng Qinwen able to course correct. A little wobbly start in that final game, but after 56 minutes in the power struggle between Zheng and Coco Gauff, it's the Chinese #1 who comes out on top. Zheng Qinwen starting to make her way back to the court. Sophie, I wonder about the mindset. We know Coco was going to go off as she tried to freeze the Chinese #1. Are you surprised Zheng Qinwen also left?
I am surprised that she left. I mean, if anything, I would have maybe talked to my coach, because you are allowed to do this if your opponent leaves the court between first and second set. But anyway, you know, it's whatever they feel, and maybe she had to go to the bathroom. So, you know, it is what it is. But what I am very impressed is really the mental toughness and awareness and the sameness of Zheng throughout the first set. There's no up and down. She just goes out of, you know, her business and just stays within really control of the match. There's no, you know, even the body language is the same, and you can feel the strength mentally. And I think, you know, at the Olympic Games when she beat Vekic in this really, really difficult match in the final, I think that built up her character even more.
7 minutes after the final point to secure Zheng Qinwen the opening set 6-3. Back to action as Gauff begins her campaign to come back from a set down.
Let her serve. Love 15.
Well, she has been trying to add a variety to her game, Qinwen, but that was a very last-minute decision. She was in good position to really get up to that ball, but definitely wasn't what she had in mind as she was moving forward.
That's just beautiful from Qinwen, just opening up the opportunity, ripping through every single forehand that she has the opportunity to, from the back of the court at least. Saved the drop shot, but she's just been superb on the backhand wing. Look how far back she was, still able to create that pace, Jill.
40-13.
You know, one thing
great.
that
Sorry, Sophie, go ahead.
Sorry, Jill. One thing that Zheng is doing now is actually shortening or accelerating much quicker to get a racket back on all those attacks from Gauff. And it's amazing how she's able to really make contact with those balls at the right time, because we know she has a long preparation in her swing. And oh boy, is she making that up very well. Look at that return right there.
Qinwen picks up where she left off. That's stringing together 4 consecutive games to put the pressure on Gauff. Up a set and a break puts her in prime position. The opening 56 minutes weren't lacking for drama, ladies, but as we look at the numbers from that, interesting, both were in double digits negatively in winners to unforced errors, but even though Coco at -12 and Qinwen -16, it's not about hitting the errors, it's about when.
Well, I mean, if you look at all the numbers, that's how close the match was. There wasn't that much that was separating the two. A few more unforced errors from Zheng. I mean, look at the forced errors, 16 on Coco's side compared to 6 on Zheng. So she's understanding, I think, when to inject that extra pace, when to apply that pressure.
Seats quickly, please. Ladies and gentlemen, to my left, players are ready. Thank you very much.
Yeah, of course, also key was the fact that when she needed to come up with the goods, Qinwen was able to save those 5 break opportunities. That was crucial, as she was able to hold Coco at bay. And now she puts herself in the prime position she's enjoyed for the latter half of the season, especially as a terrific front runner. Ladies, combined in the last 2 seasons, Qinwen has been 70-5 when winning the opening set, including 38 of 40 this year, but she's won 24 straight. And in that time, when she wins the opening set, she's only lost 5 sets.
That's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. But I mean, that just shows you, I think her mentality has changed quite a bit from the beginning of the year, where she just got to her first Grand Slam final in Australia. I mean, that was a big moment for her. But from that point on, I think she had ups and downs. Then, of course, won the gold medal. But from the gold medal to now, I just feel like that mentality has gotten so much stronger in Zheng.
Yeah, that's 5 sets out of 53 she's played in the 24 straight.
It is.
It's absurd. But she knows how to keep her opponents down when she's got them there.
Well, this is what we've all been discussing about the Coco Gauff return and where she's placing it on the second serve return. She's had opportunities to step in. She hasn't. So in that regard, she's only been able to hit 5% with good depth. That's been applying pressure to Zheng. So she hasn't been able to hit past the service line or past on the baseline that much. And we've been talking about how her stance could be further up. And I feel like if she could do that, that's where she's going to get that extra depth.
Oh, just almost missed the bounce there, but you know, talk about Qinwen having a holder's mentality. Kind of sounds like cards, but every time she steps up, she has such immense
belief in her serve that I think she can only get better in the return regard, where she can up the risk so much more, Jill, knowing that, you know, she's on safe base when she's got that ball in her hand and is about to serve. Safe hands every time.
And the hold for 5 consecutive games now for the current live WTA #5 player in the world. That'll be a top 5 debut for Zheng Qinwen, and a victory with that trophy in hand would put her up to #4. 1 spot behind her opponent, but she'll have the upper hand, won't she? Coco Gauff's got to stem the tide right now. This match starting to slip away.
Why not apply the pressure here more? I mean, you know, set 2-love up, take it on, take it back to Coco even more. And that rush on the play there, Jill, do you think that's, you know, is that frustration? Is that mentally running out of options?
I think it's more options, yeah. I think that was her saying, like, okay, I got to step up in the base and I have to take it a little bit early, change something, because she feels like she's getting pushed back, I think. And Zheng is doing a great job of using that deeper ball. That's, again, her feeling like she has to do something extra. Just what you were saying, have to apply the pressure a little bit more. I do think she's going after it more, but now I just felt like she lost her footwork a little bit in those last couple points.
Not to mention the mental toughness and the body language a little bit of Coco is being a little bit let down and disappointed.
30.
So what do you think, any change that, or one change where you think would make the biggest impact for Coco here against Qinwen?
I think you're totally on cue. I think it's attacking the second serve with no doubt of Zheng being more aggressive on that. And, you know, why not try to maybe herself come to the net if she has the opportunity to do so and roll some of those forehand a little bit higher through the air to get the topspin and the kick to push Zheng behind the baseline. Oh, she needed that.
Oh, beautiful play here, but what was even more beautiful was the way that Coco Gauff drew the Chinese crowd into applauding that immense speed. Can't believe she was quick enough to pull up early so she didn't actually hit the umpire's chair. That was close, Sophie, right in front of you.
It's very close.
And their second ace and a bellow from Coco as she stems the tide. Puts an end to the 5-game slide to Zheng Qinwen and arrives on the board. She's present accounted for in set #2. Well, she's going to forever be chasing the living ghost of sorts, if you will, of Li Na, the former world #2 and 2-time major champion. Zheng Qinwen, though, starting to catch up in some respects. She's now going to be a member of the top 5. That's an accomplishment, up from 14 to start the year. She's just the second Chinese woman to reach the WTA Finals championship day, Li having done so back in 2013 when she came up short against Serena Williams. So things indicating early up a set and a break that she might eclipse Li Na in this tournament result if she's able to emerge as champion in Riyadh. You know, it's been the second half of the season where she has flourished. Jill, you were talking about it. I mean, she's 18-5 since the start of the U.S. Open, and it's been a steady progression, liftoff, if you will. Quarterfinals at the U.S. Open, Beijing semifinalist, runner-up in Wuhan, champion of Tokyo, and here she is on the last day of the WTA Finals.
Yeah, I think the fact that she won the Paris Olympic gold medal in singles, I think that had a lot to do with it. That was one of her biggest goals. It was so much emotion. She took on that responsibility for her country, and she loved that moment. And I think that was very emotional for her. That took a lot out of her, but I think she also gained so much confidence at the same time.
And at the same time, Alicia, it thrust her into an already intense glare of the spotlight, just made her absolutely out of this world rock star status in China, and she's handled it so well.
Yeah, no question about that. But, you know, I think she's built to have the expectation of a nation on her shoulders, and she's proved it already at such a young age. Just has such a level head, both on and off the court.
I think also the fact that, you know, she has mentioned many, many times with Parariba in her corner how much that they work on the little things. And this is what separates the elite, you know, from the rest of the field, how you get into the top 10, the top 5 to number 1. It's about those little small changes. And he said she has the biggest work ethic of anyone he's worked with. I think he would no doubt put Coco in that category as well, for sure. But he said just her mentality, she just wants it so much. And I think she's matured throughout this year before our eyes. It's been incredible to watch.
I concur. As she goes for her 7th hold in as many tries tonight. Remember, at one point in this tournament, she held 17 consecutive games in a row. This would put additional pressure upon Coco Gauff's shoulders. First double fault of the contest for Qinwen. Been able to keep them rather tidy. That's just her 14th for the event. Didn't have any in her dismantling of world number 4, Jasmine Paolini, in that 6-1, 6-1 victory in exactly 60 minutes. Magnificent.
Game
185 kilometers per hour out wide, and then the finish at the net secures a 3-1 lead in set number 2.
Zheng leads by 3 against 4.
I think something else that Zheng said she's been very proud of in the recent last 3 or 4 months is how she's been able to keep her motivation high. She has said numerous times that she can't have any of those little dips, those little slips, because that's when the top players really take advantage. And she's learned that. And I think that's a big aspect to her mentality.
Got a good look at the Billie Jean King Trophy that is presented to the champion. Of course, named after the trailblazer who helped formulate the original 9 and bring women's tennis to the forefront. Now, you're both indebted to her, as every woman who's ever played the sport professionally is. Sophie, you too. A touchstone there for you personally.
Yeah, well, look.
We'll get back to that, Sophie. Alicia, looking for Coco Gauff.
I just want you to focus here on the red, Kevin. On the ad side, 58% of the second serves rolling through the middle of the box from Coco. It's not quite good enough. Qinwen just onto it too much, and I think Coco's ability is much better than that. She can squeeze the edges of the service box, and quite frankly, she's got to.
And Coco with her second perfect hold, and coming at just the right time to give herself a little bit of belief. She tries to keep within a touch of the woman who has a set and break lead, Zheng Qinwen, 6-3, 3-2 in Riyadh. Just 4 women in 2024 eclipsing the half-century mark. That's 50 match wins on the year. Tour leader, Iga Swiatek with 59. Aryna Sabalenka, the year-end #1, has already been secured for her with her 54 wins. Coco Gauff, her best season with 53. And Zheng Qinwen at 50 wins, the first Chinese woman to ever win 50 match wins in a season. And she's in a prime position, serving up a break, second set.
Something different. I like the play from Gauff and well disguised. And Zheng did a good job of getting up for that ball, but that's the shot that Coco loves. She likes that target. And Zheng, you don't see her at the net that often. That's not her most comfortable area of the court, so that's a good play from Gauff.
That was better here. Stepped into that return a lot more.
Massive moment for Coco Gauff. She knows she hasn't converted a break point tonight. 5 times tried, 5 times missed, but what a bit of momentum turn for her.
Just built this point beautifully, didn't she, Jill? And you felt like Coco always had the upper hand, and all of a sudden, when it really counts, she's finding the touch, and she's making really decisive, smart decisions on court.
Most aggressive return game she's played so far.
Wonderful to hear the footsteps, the tiny preparations to seal the deal on a break to love for 3-all.
I feel like this is what we've been waiting for. We'll be talking about of Coco stepping it up a little bit, being more on top of that baseline. But it was just more the clarity of thought, that the decisiveness that you alluded to, Alicia, that was the reason she won that game. She just decided to go after it.
Gauff starting to have her turn with the momentum swing. 9 consecutive points as she looks to make it 3 straight games.
Well, when Jen is that far outside the court on that backhand, she knows she has to get the pace on the ball, and that ball just skidded through the court on Gauff.
You've got to love that play from Qinwen going back
15-13.
in the same corner, incredibly heavy forehands, all anchored in the same corner of the court, and resisted the temptation to go into the big open space, but backing the heaviness of her forehand, you've got to love that.
Coco's 20th ace of the event. Gets to 30 all, just trying to give herself a continuation of this momentum. The pendulum has certainly come her way.
Left person.
I need a replay of the sound on that one too. Had a lot of pop behind it.
I think that might be the fastest one she hit tonight at 190 kilometers per hour.
Game ball. New balls, please. Ball chain.
And Coco Gauff gets a roar of her own as she looks up on the scoreboard and sees herself out in front for the first time in this championship final.
Gauff leads by 4 games to 3.
Well, since the inception of this tournament in 1972, this is the 53rd edition. Only 11 times has a player lost a match in round-robin play and gone on to win the title. We're guaranteed to add 12 to that list because both of these women found themselves faltering, losing a match in round-robin play, yet still able to represent in the semifinals and come through to reach championship day. By the way, in the last couple of years, champions that have done just that lost a match in round-robin play to win the title. 2 years ago, Caroline Garcia in Fort Worth. 3 years ago, Garbiñe Muguruza. And just after 3 years after raising the trophy in Guadalajara, Garbiñe Muguruza has since retired from tennis, got married, and she is tournament director of the WTA Finals Riyadh.
And she's taken on that role so well. She loves it. She took some time away from the sport. She's also sitting with Hantuchova and Hingis, legends that were on the court a little bit earlier before this match started.
Oh, she needed the net there because Coco was in perfect position with her racket behind the ball to volley that. A little bit of assist here. Just helped jump the ball above Coco's racket. That is lucky and unlucky at the same time for Coco. I mean, what are the chances?
Well, that is ace number 443 on the season because the WTA tells us so. And number 37 for the tournament for the WTA Tour leader in that regard. No one's going to catch her. She will be the year-end #1 in aces delivered in 2024.
I think there should be a trophy for that, too.
Oh, yeah.
Although that is just her second in this contest. She's been averaging just under 9 per match this tournament. And a young fan crying out.
Part of the reason for less aces in this particular match is because of the foot speed of Coco Gauff. She's getting on the back end of basically or racket on every single return, including that second serves. You know, I feel like Coco's assumed a position further back in the court. She's giving herself plenty of time to sight the ball and set up, giving the Qinwen serve plenty of respect at the same time.
Coco to me definitely looks
30-14.
more controlled. You know, in the beginning, it was firepower against firepower, and now Coco, she's not going full force on everything. She's picking and choosing, but she's looks a lot more comfortable in the rally ball, just rallying that ball and waiting for her moment.
And back-to-back breaks of Zheng Qinwen gives Coco Gauff 4 games in a row and a 5-3 lead. She'll serve to force a decider.
5 games to 3.
Amazing how it's just changed so suddenly, and I think that one aggressive return game from Coco this previous break was just changed everything. It gave Qinwen a different look. Then she started thinking about how she needed to adjust because how Coco lifted the level and just sprayed a couple balls in that game. Surprising from Zheng. They were new balls, and I was wondering how she was going to respond. Sometimes when you have a little nerves, that ball can fly on you.
You picked it, Jill. You picked it. Sophie, what about you? You know, great execution there on the forehand from Zheng, but, you know, certainly has thrown in a number of unforced errors really lately.
Yeah, the other thing I'm seeing is, I mean, I totally agree with obviously the breaking the serve and being more aggressive on the return of serve was huge, especially breaking Zheng at love and holding yourself at love. It was a series of 9 points in a row for her. But what I'm seeing also is that Coco's mentality changed also because of the few points, especially when she had that little drop shot that she came to and won that point. That changed the mentality of Coco. She's so much more into it and even being more positive. And she's hitting deeper. She's really pushing Zheng further back during the rallies.
What do you think here, Sophie, are the keys for Zheng to get herself firmly back in this set?
I'm not quite sure she's going to be able to, tell you the truth, just because of the quality of playing and just also the serving quality right now has been pretty good for Coco. And for Zheng, she needs to grab back the loss of court. Look at that serve again.
40-15.
It's going to be interesting, as I am really feeling that we are going to go into a final set to see how they both, react.
Had some heat on it. Little vapor trail off the end of that return winner for Zheng. Is it enough to keep her in the mix? As a second set point arrives for Coco.
One of her best points in the last couple games for sure, Zheng. I was looking at her body language actually the last few points and not quite seeing the emotion we're used to seeing to pump herself up, but I have to say she stepped it up on that point. Well done. Good to get that focus back.
Thank you.
And the power that she's exhibiting right now is ridiculous on those last 2 points. She's hitting the ball harder and harder.
Left second serve.
It's quite a twist and a turn, isn't it? Because the pressure's been applied on Zheng with the scoreboard, and she's actually remained and looked a lot calmer over the course of this last game. You know, it's do or die, and she's coming up trumps.
Yeah, it's representative, I think, of the semifinal match with Krejcikova, too. We'll talk more about that in a moment, because it's 3 of 4 in break opportunities for Zheng Qinwen as she breaks back to stay prominent and relevant in set number 2. Back inside the sports arena on the campus of King Saud University, and the 4,200 strong, very vocal. Was mentioning a moment ago, Jill, you and I called the first semifinal yesterday when Zheng Qinwen was able to move past Barbara Krejcikova in that match. What was intriguing, I thought, was her comments following the match as she built a 1-set lead, then moved ahead a double break 3-love in the second. And then, Jill, of course, she found herself suddenly, after a 3-love double break lead, trailing 4-3. And she had an interesting comment post-match.
Yeah, she said it was absolutely fascinating. She said at that moment, instead of thinking that she was up 3-love and now down 4-3, she said, I just said, reset the button. I just said, okay, just pretend I'm at 0-0. It's a fresh start. And I think that's phenomenal to be able to do that in that particular moment. Really good, stable, balanced position from Gauff at the baseline. But just to add to that, I mean, the top players, what they do so well is they forget very fast. I mean, I've had coaches say, look, if you're up a set in 3-love and you don't know that you were up a set in 3-love, and I throw you on the court and I said, you know, you're down 4-3, but you're on serve, you would think that was a great position to be in because you're on serve. So it's forgetting that you had that lead and they're coming back. It's just such a mind game.
Alicia, it is almost like, you know, I can only think of the storied philosopher Theodore Lasso, who says, have a memory like a goldfish. It only lasts 10 seconds, so just forget about it immediately.
Does Ted Lasso think the same?
I think so. I think so, yeah. Theodore, Ted? Believe would also be a key theme for this
Never
match.
give up.
Here comes Coco.
That incredible foot speed again of Coco.
15-14.
No give, no concession, and it earns her a 3rd set point. And what more could you want? A couple of young 20-somethings just battling it out. And they will go 3 in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia in the championship round of the WTA Finals, Riyadh. Well, we know this. We will see the 27th different champions since the tournament began and debuted in 1972. And we know one set will decide it. And what a far cry from last year. There will be no defending champion as Iga Swiatek was bounced out by Barbara Krejcikova. Remember her dominant performance last year. Of course, it was 12 months ago that Iga Świątek won the WTA Finals trophy in Cancun, dismantling Jessica Pegula in the final in 60 minutes, dropping just a single game as we begin the 70th minute already of this contest. Be a bit of a gut check because that second set slipped away so quickly, Alicia. For Qinwen, of course.
Yeah, first comment I have to make was I was excited both players remained on court, Jill. You were thinking the same after the tight second set, kept straight back into it, ladies, and that's what they've done.
Might be the first time this tournament.
Providing this incredible show. No, it's a relevant point.
Yeah,
it is. So often, the momentum gets broken, whether it's singles or doubles, teams, head off the court. It's great to see both Iga right here, right now, but it's been an impressive start from Zheng here right now. I think she's hit that button again, Jill.
She has. It started with that first point. I mean, it was a little bit longer first point, but I love the fact that Zheng was just consistent because she had sprayed a couple mistakes at the end of that second set, so she really just locked it down again right from the start in this first point. Now she's got herself a few break point opportunities right out of the gates.
She's already a 75% success rate today with 3 of 4 for Zheng. And back to a slugfest, old-fashioned toe-to-toe.
15-14.
Yeah, I actually prefer not seeing it toe-to-toe, Kevin. I think just one variation, one shot of variation within the rally can just, it can set the player off where they mistime the ball. So that these players play such big games that you want to receive that ball that is off pace, that's mishit.
Well, we saw Coco incorporate the drop shot just once, right? I mean, she's been trying to do that more often. She's capable of it. Actually, Zheng's been trying to throw that variety in with the slice and the drop shot as well. But, I mean, when someone's hitting with such flatness, especially on the backhand and the ball shooting through the court, it's not necessarily, it's easier to change on the slice. The drop shot can be more tricky. Sometimes you do get caught up in this power hitting, right? When your opponent comes with such pace, I mean, you kind of almost get into this mentality where you just want to match it. But I agree with you. I like it when there's a change or a variety.
Well, it's so much easier, isn't it, to feed off pace and utilize the energy from the ball as opposed to the physical activity and demand to create pace yourself. Yeah, they're both making each other look incredibly good, aren't they?
Well, they do, for sure. I think also it's something that they're trying to add. So it's tough to be able to use it in a situation like this where there's tension, there's pressure, and it's not necessarily your most natural shot selection.
Oh no, for the second time tonight, Coco Gauff double faults on break point. She survived 3, but the 4th is her own undoing. And Zheng Qinwen assumes the lead here in set number 3. Now, Sophie Amiak, it was a dramatic turn from 3-1 down in that second set. Coco held to love for 3-2 and then ran off 5 of the last 6 games.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that she's right here in the third set with the second set at 6-4, 12 and 4s for Qinwen, and The 11 forced errors, that was a change, but what I like is to see the +2 on the unforced versus winners for Coco Gauff. Just a tattier set when she started to come back from 3-1. And, you know, for Coco now, I mean, she's going to have to take some risk and, you know, maybe throw a few of those drop shots. I mean, that worked, you know, to change a little bit the, you know, the rhythm of the point. And Zheng doesn't like to come in, you know, on her own. She likes to, on her own will, but I'm not sure she's that happy when you bring her in.
The other thing on that stat sheet that was so noticeable, of course, was Coco 0 for 5 in break chances in the opening set, 3 for 3 in the second, just running away with the tail end of that set, executing so well.
I just want to make one more point because, you know, I often, obviously, and we all often talk about, you know, the forehand of Coco Gauff, how it can really go and all of a sudden just not be able to put a forehand in. She had a very limited amount of enforced errors of the forehand tonight. I think she's hitting it great considering the pace that's coming, and she's loving the pace more, but still pretty good forehand night for her.
Despite the disappointment of losing that 3-1 lead in the second set, Zheng Qinwen's fans might be thinking, oh, she's got her just where she wants her. Considering the fact that this season, Zheng Qinwen is 21-4 when being dragged to a third set, including winning 8 of her last 9. So she doesn't mind the endurance test that is the full complement of sets.
I mean, that's something that she's worked on significantly in her game. That was one of the top priorities, was getting more physicality in her game. She was working in the gym, on the court, and because that she worked on that, she has more confidence in that part of her game. So she feels more confident in the fact that when it does go deep, when it does go 3 sets, she has that extra belief in herself to sustain that level.
I did.
Oh, stood in and stepped up here, Zheng, but I almost feel, Jill, she could have ripped one more back, almost more acutely cross-court. I was expecting that, but I think pushed through the middle of the court too much and just dragged it long.
Do you think she thought of that for a moment? That's why I made the mistake?
Yeah.
That she was thinking cross?
Yeah. A last-minute change.
Last-minute change, yeah. Well, she desperately wanted to somehow, during that rally, get the ball to the backhand side of Qinwen because she was being moved around the court so well with that heavy forehand from Zheng. And just was a tough ball to change down the line. She was going for the right shot, but she caught it pretty far behind her. It's difficult to control. Wow, that's nice. Beautiful from Qinwen. I love the fact that she went for that, because that's the previous forehand that she sprayed wide, but did not hesitate on that one. Still right on the line, but got the job done.
She survives the threat from Gauff and is able to consolidate the break for 2-love.
Zheng leads by
Jill,
2
Kevin,
games.
Sophie, I'm so impressed by the way Zheng Qinwen has tackled this third set.
Yeah.
You know, after the deficit in the second set. And that could be a huge letdown. She was leading midway through. The response is just world class.
She's made of ice. I'm telling you, her mental toughness is one of a kind.
Let person.
Talked about Coco Gauff being a known entity even at 20 years of age. 2017, she reached the Junior Girls U.S. Open final, lost to Amanda Anisimova. The following year, 2018, she won the Roland Garros Junior Girls Championship. Would later move up to the #1 ranking as the top junior player. She'd win the U.S. Open Junior Girls doubles title with her partner Katie McNally. And then not long after, in March of 2019, she made her WTA Tour main draw debut, coming back from a set down to win her first ever match at tour level against, you guessed it, Katie McNally. A common theme, but for that set the tone. That was only 5 years ago when she was just in the nascent stage of getting her career underway.
It's amazing she's been on the tour for 5 years already.
30-15.
5 years on tour. Alicia, she's got a major title tour credit. Now she's trying to win the WTA Finals.
It's all extremely accelerated, isn't it? The success, yet so young. But, you know, talk about the maturity of Coco Gauff, and it's more than matching her level on court.
And a sustained level to keep herself in amongst the elite. She broke into the top 10 for the first time in September of 2022. Come Monday, it'll be her 114th consecutive week inside the top 10. She'll stay firmly implanted at #2, even though she's beaten #1 and 2 here at this tournament.
That was purely court positioning there from Zheng. I think Gauff out of the corner of her eye, recognizing how far inside the court Zheng was there, and Gauff just felt like she had to go so big on that forehand. another attempt at a drop shot, just trying to change up the rhythm. Not the most well executed there from Gauff. Look at all the height that it had on the drop shot. Just way too much time for Zheng to be able to get up to that ball.
I mean, I can't tell you the pace that is going through this court right now, and the fact that after the pace injected from Coco Gauff, that Zheng Qinwen was able to just basically bunt at that ball with the backhand, accelerating her preparation to get a racket right to make contact with that ball was absolutely priceless.
So crucial to get half of the outside of the line for her 5th ace. A double break deficit could have been deflating, to say the least. Maybe breaking her spirit, but she's back in. It's so crucial to get the hold here and stop the momentum.
Advantage Zheng.
But should be under further adversity as Zheng Qinwen now has mustered 10 break opportunities on the night. Thus far successful 4 times. She looks to pad her lead.
I was really subtle here after this point, but you just saw that fist pump just reasserting herself, you know, remain solid but still aggressive. That's what is mind-blowing, how aggressive both players have been. And it's done wonders for her, hasn't it, Coco Gauff? You know, the T-sliding serve on the ad side. I'm surprised Qinwen didn't almost, you know, just try and sneak there while Coco was tossing up the ball for her serve.
That was a pretty good stab there from Zheng, and just clearing the net. And Coco used her speed in an offensive way here. She made sure she got up so she could catch that ball above the net, so she had enough time to be able to accelerate through that backhand.
Game.
And Coco Gauff passes the critical test. Facing a double break deficit, she's able to muster the hold. She's on the board in the deciding set. And there is the Billie Jean King Trophy that will be presented to the winner of tonight's contest, along with a check. Sit yourself down and steady your jaw. $4.8 million US. Hope you had a soft place for your jaw to land if you heard that $4.8 million. That's the bounty that will go to the winner of this contest. Zheng Qinwen currently with the upper hand, up a break, serving 2-1 final set.
Love 15.
Shame that it was on. I think throughout this, Zheng doing a really good job when she
she's been afforded the time to move up and tied it to the baseline. Just needed a bit more whip on the outside of the ball, Jill, to sort of bring that back into play, curl it in. Didn't quite have it that time.
Fifteen on. Thirty, 15.
That's one of her favorite serves on the ad side. And Zheng, that out wide, she snaps that wrist so well to create that angle. Good accuracy.
I wonder though whether the fact that Coco has been able to, bite back in these returning games, even when Qinwen's been leading a couple of times, Jill, I wonder whether that will factor into her mindset
If
here
that's
serving.
in the back of her mind, maybe, yeah.
Back or front, do you think?
Both.
Yeah, I agree. It plays a part.
It's a great return. Yeah, I feel like this whole match, no point has been easy. There haven't really been quick mistakes or unforced errors, more forced errors in my opinion. So, I mean, even if you're up in your service game, you never really feel super secure just with how each player is trusting them so much, hitting with huge pace off the ground.
Oh, this is the first time that we're seeing so many mistakes and not even close from the racket of Zheng throughout the whole match. A little bit of a letdown here after being up 40-15. This could be very costly, and Coco a chance to get that break back.
Two all, final set.
Look at this jet speed from Coco Gauff. Not only does she get there, but she sets herself up beautifully for the next volley. Now that's probably worth about 4 points. Look at Zheng Qinwen going to the shoelaces. I think this match has been no doubt taxing for both women, but when you've been leading on the scoreboard in the third set and your opponent comes back for a deficit, it hurts that much more.
Jill, so important going back to the previous service effort from Gauff. She faced 2 break points, saved 1 with an ace, but that was critical to her chances tonight.
Yeah, it's just been incredible, her mindset. I mean, we spoke about coming back in that second set, having been down a break. She's been getting the crowd involved, showing a lot more emotion, but she said that this week, you know, one of the things she's been most proud of is her positive outlook and her resilience, and we're seeing so much resilience from her today.
And Alicia, in light of that, her mental resolve, did we mention yet that she won't be 21 until the 13th of March next year?
No, you didn't. I mean, it's absolutely mind-blowing, isn't it? The maturity which she tackles, not just tennis matches, but I think the moments where, you know, she's battling uphill. And so often for the younger players on tour, we see so much frustration and then be overcome by the moment. Not Coco.
No, she's looking to make a statement hold right here. She won the final 4 points of game number 4 to get to 2-all. Now she's looking to run off 4 in a row to claim the lead.
And this is a huge letdown from Zheng, no doubt, especially after that ball on that drop shot that Coco was able to get at the net. Unbelievable. Yep.
But she's already got the scalps of the number 2 player in the world and the number 1 player in the world. And she's now got the lead on the current number 5, Coco Gauff. 3-2, third set. Yeah. Tennis is getting pretty big in China thanks to their top player. It doesn't matter what gender, male, female. There's no player ranked higher than Zheng Qinwen. In fact, she's the only player from China to be inside the top 45 of either the ATP or WTA rankings. And you know who else knows that? The estimated 1.5 billion people who live in Beijing. It's just a couple minutes past 2:30 a.m. on Monday, and Chinese fans are watching, thanks to a deal that was signed just prior to the WTA Finals, Riyadh. Opening point of game 6. Yeah, ladies, I'm not sure you're aware, but if 1.5 billion people live in China, let's say 10% of them are fans and they're watching on CCTV5 right now. That's still 150 million people.
You would think there'd be a lot of pressure, but she actually uses it as energy. She was saying that during the Asia swing and how excited she was to go back to Asia, to her home country, and be able to play in front of her fans. She was so, I mean, that's pretty incredible that you use it as energy rather than pressure.
Yeah, she mentioned that in the past she was feeling pressure, but things changed on this last Asian tour.
Yeah, to put it in context, ladies, she only played 1 match during the Beijing-Wuhan double last year and lost that match. This year, she left Chinese soil with an 8-2 record and had dramatic results, of course, reaching the Wuhan final. That helped fuel her when she left China to go to Japan and win the Tokyo title, where she only lost 1 set.
This has got to be so frustrating as well for Zheng Qinwen, because so many serves, ground strokes ordinarily would not be coming back, Jill, or they'd be played with a defensive mentality. But it must be incredibly hard for her mentally just to play aggressive shots over and over and over again. When you've got an opponent like Gauff, just the absolute brick wall she is with the speed she has, I mean, that has to be mentally wearing and tiring.
Absolutely. Oh, wow. Thought completely thought Gauff was going to sprint to the other side and it tried to trick her to go behind her, but Gauff held her ground. Yeah, I agree, especially with someone who, you know, is the leader of aces of the season. You're used to getting more free points, but so many returns are coming back into play. You're not getting any reward or as much reward on the serve as you're used to.
Game, Zheng. Ball change, please. New ball.
Zheng able to find her resolve in turn.
3 games
After the 2-love lead evaporated, she ends the 3-game run of Gauff for 3-all.
Okay, so who has the upper hand now?
Listen, it's such a mental game right now because, you know, tennis-wise and physically, I mean, they're both, you know, producing some absolutely outstanding tennis since the beginning of this encounter. And, I mean, to me, it is going to have to be, you know, going down to who's going to be stronger when they need it the most and keep this intensity. I mean, we saw like a couple games where Zheng kind of lost her way, was hitting a lot more unforced errors and especially playing a little shorter. But boy, was she just so on top of things here in this last service game for her to even things out at 3-all. So it's all going to be guts. Let's see who's got the most guts tonight.
That might answer it.
Oh my. I mean, the movement, I mean, around that ball so quickly to react to get that inside out forehand winner. Look how quick she gets around it. Boom! Ooh, that's a beauty.
That backhand just can be so lethal. I mean, you almost feel like sometimes you have Coco in trouble where she looks completely stretched on that backhand side, but she's got just good balance, strength in the legs and also the wrist that she's able to still incorporate so much pace.
Great acceleration when you beat Coco Gauff on the move. That tells you everything you need to know as Qinwen strikes her 102nd winner of this event, her 20th of the match. She tries to take control.
Well, that point, Zheng onto the slider down the tee, and it was the last game that Coco used that particular serve 3 times. Zheng missed on a couple of those occasions, so she was onto it, made a mental note and acted on it. Just superb.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh, the back and forth nature. Oh, the drama in Riyadh. Qinwen with the break. Back to the lead in the final set.
Zheng leads by 4 games to 3.
Closing in on crowning the 27th different champion of these WTA Finals in its first year in Riyadh. 3rd set, and for the 3rd time, the lead has exchanged hands. Zheng Qinwen hoping this time it's for good, as she serves to try to get herself out in front of Coco Gauff 5-3.
Oh, that's an important point. I often think after a break, the first point often serving is worth 2 in the books. She can really open her shoulders now, Zheng Qinwen. Well, that beautifully weighted by Coco Gauff, opened the court up, pushed Qinwen into a deep defensive position, but really liked here, took her time, used her spin and legs exceptionally well. This never say die attitude from Coco Gauff is just so impressive.
Whoa, Sophie, were you braced for that roar?
Oh, my goodness. I mean, you can tell in that roar, it's just such, you know, and the fact that she's just serving so well at such a key moment once again. I mean, the mental toughness of this player is mind-boggling to me.
Left person.
At the 2.5-hour mark, Zheng Qinwen may have just wrestled the lead for good. 1 game away as Coco Gauff serves to prolong her stay in Riyadh.
What's been mind-blowing, Kevin and Jill, is just the physicality which both players have just kept so intense throughout this whole encounter, hitting the 2-hour 32 mark. It's been just phenomenal, the intensity that they've attacked every single point with. Nice there from Coco, the quick, hard sliding serve into the right hip of Qinwen. Really tough to get out of the way. 186 k's an hour. She's bringing her best.
15-13.
Absolutely relentless from the racket of Zheng Qinwen.
Let first match.
Wow, a little bit of luck there from Coco Gauff.
14-13.
The exact moment that she needs it. 30-all was a big point. She sprayed a couple balls, but hit that with enough pace where it just plopped on
Thank you.
Zheng's
Ladies and
side.
gentlemen, please. Thank you.
Not confident on that moment. Gauff got pushed so far back, a little bit more off pace from Zheng on that return. Still had good depth. Outstanding from Gauff. Good close.
Advantage Gauff.
She could tell from the setup from Zheng here that she was going to strike the ball with pace, so she did a good job of making sure she kept going towards the net on that volley.
Game Gauff.
And Gauff does her job. And so it'll come down to Zheng Qinwen and a chance to realize a champion's effort in Riyadh.
Zheng leads by 5 games to 4.
Zheng Qinwen 2 years ago was voted by her peers the WTA Newcomer of the Year. Last season, she was voted by her peers the 2023 WTA Most Improved Player. She steps at the line and now tries to put her stamp on Riyadh and make her bid for 2024's Player of the Year.
Yeah, beautifully done here. Just once again, the whip on the forehand. It's been a trademark right throughout this match.
It's incredible consistency from Gauff, just defending with all her might throughout that point.
Oh, wow, just overcooking it there, Zheng. Qinwen, that's the build-up of pressure, and it's a pressure cooker situation right now here in Riyadh.
Thank you. Thank you.
Foot back on the pedal there, Jill.
Yeah, that was just such a great point. Huge for her, just mentally to show how strong she is. She didn't take her foot off the grass, just kept swinging freely. Very impressive when you're down 15-40, serving for the match.
And they are not done.
5 games on.
Sophie, electric down there, huh?
Absolutely crazy electric. I mean, the fortitude of these two players mentally is absolutely out of the chart, and especially for that young age. I mean, you were mentioning about Coco's, 20 years old, but it's not much older on the other side of the court and less experience, I would think, for Zheng. Oh boy, admirable.
Ordinarily, in an encounter like this, almost at the 3-hour mark, you'd be looking at, well, who doesn't have the tank to last and withstand the match? Well, guess what? They're both physically supreme athletes. So I think you can take that out of the equation, the physicality. I think it's who handles the situation better, the nerves.
Another instance where I feel like you're so often in control, and Gauff all of a sudden puts you in a defensive position on your back foot.
Well, that's just a beauty from Zheng Qinwen, continuing to step up and step inside. What I liked about the last forehand, Jill, was she just applied a little bit more flatness. The ball was moving through the court a little bit quicker than her regulation forehand, which just gets so much torque and spin. That cut down the reaction time from Coco. She's getting hot now.
Wow. Absolute unbelievable court coverage there from Zheng. Felt like Coco potentially could have taken
Ladies and gentlemen,
one out of the air, but just
remain
was
silent during
comfortable staying back. It's tough to control the crowd. I mean, this is
preliminaries.
such an exciting match.
Miriam Bly with the unenviable task of trying to quell the excitement.
Advantage, go. Let's vessel. Game up.
And for the fourth time in this final set, the lead changes hands. Has it changed for good? Zheng Qinwen, who was serving for the match, will now serve to try and extend it in Riyadh.
Gauff leads by 6 games to 5.
Zheng Qinwen looking to extend this final set to a tiebreak. She's trying to find her way past Coco Gauff. She trails now 5-6, and with her serve, it's her most potent weapon, ladies. She's going to have to use that at its highest level, most potential here.
Look at these numbers. First serves unreturned. Zheng, set one was the greatest amount, and from that point in time, it's been Coco getting a good look at the Zheng serve, minimising the number, not putting court. It's been a great display. I think, though, Coco just dropping back a bit, Jill, and the court's just allowed her more time to see the ball, get prepared, get ready.
For a moment there, Zheng thought her second serve might have missed long. Just took a moment to react to the return from Gauff.
15-30.
2 hours, 53 minutes. Now the second longest final of 2024 after the Madrid championship match. Iga Swiatek passed Aryna Sabalenka in 3 hours, 12 minutes. Zheng wants to continue this duel. And 20-year-old Coco Gauff poised on the precipice of making and joining history in Riyadh. Double championship point. Explosively defending her serve, but that's just one. A second championship point for the American.
Well, we saw some hesitation there from Coco Gauff, which we haven't seen for a very long time. The deceleration on a couple of balls in succession.
I think incredible response, though, from Zheng, right? I mean, that could have been a tricky slice. It was not easy. Had to hit up on the ball. She handled it so well.
Advantage, Zheng.
Champion's mentality, right? Going after it.
Yeah, it's amazing. And as if scripted for maximum drama, the story is not over in Riyadh. 2 championship points saved. And it'll come down to a tiebreak to settle things at the WTA Finals.
Ladies and gentlemen, please. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
just getting pushed too far back there. Qinwen, so important for her to continue to step up and step in now, foot on the pedal now.
You could tell she didn't love that rally, though, of having to hit that high ball over and over again.
Just a little bit of hesitation, too much hesitation for me, Jill. Really feel like Qinwen could have been up half a step extra, but that's playing the moment, and that's what it will deliver. It's thinking twice and extra and really questioning yourself. But Coco, I love her resilience, just continuing to be that brick wall.
Thank you.
Hours embroiled in this tug of war. The longest WTA final championship match in the better part of a decade and a half. Since 2011, Petra Kvitov's win over Victoria Azarenka in 2 hours and 28 minutes. And Coco has stamped her way to a 5-love lead. What a dynamic beginning to this championship-ending tiebreak.
Absolutely impressive start here from Gauff, and you just get this sense that nothing can break down in her game right now. She is just so solid, and the last couple points, too, looking for that aggressive stance. She's really getting on top of the ball early.
What a demonstration of mental fortitude. Coco Gauff could have been dismayed, ladies, missing out on 2 championship points as Zheng got back in. But what a dramatic start. And multiple more opportunities to grab the Billie Jean King trophy. An abundance on offer for Coco Gauff. Zheng Qinwen faces a 3rd championship point.
6-2, go.
Kind of want, I don't know about you, Jill, but I really want Coco to step up and unleash on one of those forehands. And,
she's waiting for the mistake now, I think.
Yeah, she's playing it safe, but, she can finish this. It's in her hands. She can step in.
Thank you.
Let the ball out through the court.
Game, set, match, go. 2 sets to 1, 3-6, 6-4, 7-6.
And the will to win triumphs over the agony of defeat. Coco Gauff conquers Riyadh to be champion of the WTA Finals. What a performance from an early break down in the final set to come back. And Coco Gauff's dazzling season comes to its most glittering end as champion in Riyadh. 3-6, 6-4, 7-6 in over 3 hours to find her way to the WTA Finals title.
Qinwen, you've had an incredible season, and look where you are on stage, your first WTA Finals. Congratulations to you. We'd love to hear a word from you.
I want to say thanks for everyone who comes tonight, enjoy this tennis match, and thanks for Saudi Tennis Federation create such a great tournament. And then I want to say, it's a long week, and thanks for all the staff who's working here. And I want to say thanks to my team, because you guys trying to keep me healthy. I've been through a lot of matches this year, but I'm still there on court fighting, and thanks to you, I can't be here without you guys. It's gonna be better in the future, I wish so. And then last things I want to say, congrats to the champion, and it's your first champion here, and wish you have a great future. Thanks.
One more time, Riyadh, your finalist, Zheng Qinwen.
Coco, what an amazing accomplishment. You're holding that trophy. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, first I want to congratulate Qinwen on an amazing match and tournament. You've had a stellar season, and winning the gold medal and all the finals, and I'm sure hopefully we can play many more finals together. And congrats to your team too. You guys are very nice, and yeah, it's fun competition. Next, I would like to thank Mr. Arich, Minister of the Sports, and also the Saudi Tennis Federation for putting on a great tournament. It's my first time here in Saudi Arabia, and I've had a great time, honestly. Way much more fun than I thought it was going to be, and I thank you guys, the fans, for coming out here and supporting women's tennis. It's the first professional women's tennis event here in Saudi Arabia, and I couldn't have asked and be more honored to win the trophy on that honor. And then also thank you, Garbine, your first time, I think, as tournament director, and you did an amazing job, and all the staff here who, put this tournament together, ball kids, security, everyone who's put this tournament together and make us feel welcomed. Oh, that's the security up there, okay. And then obviously I would like to thank my team. Oh, they're over there. It's been a long season, but I just want to say thank you guys. This week has been so much fun. Win or lose, I've always have a good time with you guys, and I appreciate the support. And special shout out to Stefan. He's not here, he's at home. And then thank you to my parents. My mom is here, my dad's at home watching, my brothers, my grandparents, everybody who support me. Thank you to the man above for, just allowing me to be here. And yeah, thank you guys. Thank you, Saudi Kingdom, for making me feel warm and welcome. Thank you.
Coco, I'm going to have you hold that trophy up. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you your 2024 WTA Finals re-up presented by PIF singles champion Coco Gauff.